In this video, we want to use polynomial long division to determine whether x minus 4 and x plus 2 are factors of the polynomial p of x equals x cubed minus 6x squared minus 11x plus 10. So we're going to divide using long division process. So our polynomial x cubed minus 6x squared minus 11x plus 10 is going to go underneath the long division bar, and then our divisor, which in the first case is going to be the binomial x minus 4, is going to go out in front. Now, to see if x minus 4 divides into this polynomial, we're going to first look at the leading coefficient of the binomial x and the leading coefficient of the polynomial x cubed. And so if we take x cubed and divide by x, that result is x squared. So x minus 4 is going to go into the polynomial x squared times to begin with. Another way that we can think about this is, looking at just the x and the x cubed, ask yourself, what would you have to multiply this x by in order to get x cubed? And the answer is x squared. X times x squared would equal x cubed. So x squared goes here. Now, next we need to multiply back. So we're going to take the x squared times the binomial x minus 4. X squared times x, because we have to distribute, is going to be x cubed. And x squared times minus 4 is going to be minus 4x squared. And so next we're going to subtract. Now when we subtract this result, we have to distribute the subtraction. So we're going to get minus x cubed, and minus negative 4x squared is going to become plus 4x squared. So x cubed minus x cubed is 0. Negative 6x squared plus 4x squared is going to be negative 2x squared. And so now we're going to drop down the minus 11x, the next term. And then we start our process again. So looking at the negative 2x squared and the x, negative 2x squared divided by x is going to be negative 2x. So next we write up here negative 2x. Or again, you can think of it this way. Looking at the x and the negative 2x squared, what would you have to multiply x by to get negative 2x squared? And the answer is negative 2x. X times negative 2x would be negative 2x squared. So again, next we're going to multiply the negative 2x back by our binomial. Negative 2x times x is going to be negative 2x squared. And negative 2x times minus, or negative 4, is going to be positive, or plus 8x. So again, we're going to subtract. Distributing the subtraction, minus negative 2x squared is going to become plus 2x squared. And minus plus 8x is going to become minus 8x. So negative 2x squared plus 2x squared is 0. Negative 11x minus 8x is negative 19x. And we're going to drop down our final term, 10. Looking again at the x and the negative 19x. Negative 19x divided by x is negative 19. So we write up here negative 19, or again, we could think of that as, what would we multiply x by to get negative 19x, and the answer is negative 19. So multiplying back, negative 19 times x is negative 19x. Negative 19 times negative 4 is going to be plus 76. Subtract. Again, we distribute the subtraction, so minus negative 19x is going to become plus 19x, minus plus 76 is going to become minus 76. Negative 19x plus 19x is 0. 10 minus 76 is minus 66. So in this case, we get a remainder of negative 66. And the fact that x minus 4 did not divide evenly into the polynomial means that x minus 4 is not a factor of our polynomial. So x minus 4 is not a factor of our polynomial p of x. Now we can check our division by using multiplication. So to use some terminology, we know that the negative 66 is called the remainder. The x squared minus 2x minus 19 is called the quotient. The polynomial, in this case the binomial that we're dividing by, is called the divisor. And the polynomial that's being divided is called the dividend. So as a general rule, when we divide the dividend by the divisor, we get a quotient and a remainder. Now if we take our divisor, x minus 4, times our quotient, x squared minus 2x minus 19, and add the remainder, negative 66, that should result in our original polynomial, x cubed minus 6x squared minus 11x plus 10. So we could work this out to check our result. Let's do that real quick. So if I multiply this out, I've got to multiply each term of the polynomial here by x, and then I've got to multiply each term by the negative 4. So x times x squared would be x cubed. X times minus 2x would be minus 2x squared. X times minus 19 is minus 19x. Negative 4 times x squared is negative 4x squared. Negative 4 times negative 2x is going to be positive or plus 8x. Negative 4 times negative 19 is going to be positive or plus 76. And then we still have plus negative 66, our remainder. Now if we combine like terms, we only have the one x cubed term. We have minus 2x squared and minus 4x squared, which is minus 6x squared. We have minus 19x and plus 8x, which is minus 11x. And then here we have plus 76 and minus 66, which is plus 10. That is our original polynomial, so our division checks. As a general rule, if we call the quotient q of x, the remainder r of x, the original polynomial p of x, and the divisor d of x, then as a general rule, if we take the divisor d of x times the quotient q of x, and if we add the remainder r of x, then that should equal the original polynomial p of x. Now we also still need to check if x plus 2 is a factor of our polynomial. So let's do that on a new sheet. So we're going to write down our division, x plus 2, dividing into our polynomial x cubed minus 6x squared minus 11x plus 10. So we'll go through our process again, looking at the x and the x cubed. X cubed divided by x is going to be x squared, or again we can think of that as what would we have to multiply x by to get x cubed, and the answer would be x squared. Multiplying back, x squared times x plus 2, distributing, x squared times x gives x cubed, x squared times 2 is 2x squared. Subtracting, distributing the subtraction, we'll get minus x cubed and minus 2x squared. X cubed minus x cubed is 0. Negative 6x squared minus 2x squared will be negative 8x squared. And we can drop down our next term, negative 11x. Now looking at the negative 8x squared and the x, negative 8x squared divided by x will be negative 8x. Or again, what would I multiply x by to get negative 8x squared? And the answer is negative 8x. Multiplying back, negative 8x times x plus 2. Negative 8x times x is going to be negative 8x squared. Negative 8x times 2 is going to be negative or minus 16x. Subtracting, we have to distribute the subtraction. So minus negative 8x squared will become plus 8x squared, minus negative 16x will become plus 16x. Negative 8x squared plus 8x squared is 0. Negative 11x plus 16x will be 5x. And we can drop down our last term. Looking at the x and the 5x, 5x divided by x is going to be 5. Or again, what would I multiply x by to get 5x? The answer is 5. Multiplying back, 5 times x plus 2. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 2 is 10. Subtracting, we have to distribute. So we'll get minus 5x minus 10. 5x minus 5x is 0. 10 minus 10 is 0. So in this case, we have a remainder of 0. The fact that we have a remainder of 0 means that x plus 2 is a factor of our original polynomial p of x, which is equal to the x cubed minus 6x squared minus 11x plus 10. So in this case, x plus 2 is a factor of p of x. So that means that our original polynomial is going to equal x plus 2, our divisor, times the quotient, x squared minus 8x plus 5. And so again, that equals our original polynomial, x cubed minus 6x squared minus 11x plus 10. And we could check that by multiplying it back out. I'll leave that work for you. But the real point is that because x plus 2 divides into our polynomial evenly, in other words, it divides so that the remainder is 0, that means our original polynomial factors into x plus 2 times the x squared minus 8x plus 5.